So, on my channel, I mostly deal with romance and celebrity scammers that are mostly found on Facebook. I have thrown in a couple things about email scams and text scams. Today, I'm going to go a little bit different. Today will be about social media. It is most likely, if you're here on YouTube, then you also have been, at least with YouTube, around social media influencers. You can find them anywhere and everywhere. And within social media, there are scammers, not just of the African variety. The person I'm going to shine a light on uses YouTube, uses Twitch, and uses TikTok, among other things. However, before we get into her creation, we need to talk for a few seconds about fair use and about how you are able to use somebody else's content without getting copyright striked or sued. In the United States, fair use works as a commentary, criticism, research, teaching, or news reporting may be considered fair use. In the EU, more limited expectations are recognized, and the use must fit into specific categories such as quotations, criticisms, reviews, and so on and so on. Ultimately, the fine print is, it's for the courts to decide. Other countries, such as Canada, for instance, don't use fair use, they use fair dealing. So it's the legal expectation to copyright that allows the use of copyrighted material under specific circumstances. So it's almost like in the US, but with a few differences. I'll give you a second just to read through that. Australia also uses fair dealing as opposed to fair use. So, in the case of this video, between fair use and fair dealing, we are going to be using the material as commentary, criticism, and an example of what scammers in the West might look like. This person is not the only scammer. You just have to turn on TikTok and live and find so many scammers. Let's get into it. The example I'm going to show you doesn't use dry begging. However, this content creator is known for her dry begging. Dry begging is a form of manipulation that involves a person to stress a financial burden or need for financial assistance and not make a request directly to a closed party of interest, to only hope that the party offers assistance to support the needs or situation at hand. This person in question has not only dry bagged her way to Costa Rica, she's dry bagged her way into a number of surgeries on her person. She has gotten all this paid for 100% free from her viewers just by dry begging alone. She is also known to use guilt trips. In this case, she has done the verb section of guilt tripping by making someone, or in this case, hundreds of viewers, feel guilty, especially in order to induce them to do something. Going along with her dry begging, she has guilt tripped people into giving her money. Kind of like what the African and Malaysian and Indian and scammers. You get the picture.
Want to talk about, so
Here we go.
That works. Thank you to everybody that threw down.
This
Thank you
is
for the 8
Miss
tier 1 subs, the
Lexi
500
Knight.
biddies, level 365%. Thank you to Heather, Tammy Brown, Granny Lynn, Kristen for resubscribing to tier 3, Lauren, Steph B, and Donna PGH, and Kylie, of course. So, yeah, guys, listen, I don't know how many of you guys want the stream to exist or not to exist, but if we don't start seeing some support, pretty much, I'm just going to shut it down. So you guys got to decide.
Here's where she goes into guilt tripping. You're not giving me money via hype trains. If you don't know what Twitch is, once every hour, you can, if people throw enough bits and subs. I'm not going to get into how that all breaks down. It's a lot. But if you don't throw down enough bits and subs towards what is called a hype train, the hype train expires and goes away. Miss Lexi Knight had just done a hype train. She was literally most Twitch streamers don't expect or ask for money. Some, like Miss Lexi Knight, do ask, beg, expect, demand, threaten, and shame for money. So this was taken on a specific night. Shout out to Grammy, who actually clipped this bit. I'm using her YouTube for it. And yes, she knows about it. There was a stream that just, not a stream, a hype train that just ended. They didn't get very far. And here Lexi is giving them all a complete and total, not one of a kind, Lexi rant about their contribution to her pockets. I do have to try to keep calm because it gets worse.
You guys got to decide what you want. I'm going to leave it at that. All right? It shouldn't be up to 2 or 3 people, 4 or 5 people. It should be everybody. So you guys make the decision.
So everybody in her stream should be giving her money. She doesn't say it in this clip, but she is known to say, I'm worth a cup of coffee. A Twitch sub, depending on where you live, is anywhere from $3.99 to $6.99. Some other countries, it might cost more to give a subscription. The bits for like 100 bits is a $1. I believe that's across the board. I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that. So she is asking for your real life, real dollars to watch her do her thing. And I'm not even going to tell you what her thing is. Okay. If you're not subscribed to her channel, so if you're not directly giving her money every month towards a subscription, then you have to sit through approximately 10 minutes, it feels like, of ads. If you don't subscribe, you have to sit through ads. That way she gets ad revenue. If you subscribe, there's no ads, but then you'll be able to hear more of her guilt tripping, her begging, and her bigotry, her hate, that kind of thing. So there's something to think about. And even if you give her your money once per month, your cup of coffee money, as she would put it, if you do not throw down for every hype train that she has, so that's at least one hype train an hour, then she will guilt trip you for that because she's worth it. She's worth a subscription, just like Netflix is worth, the subscription to Netflix. So it gives you a little bit to go on there.
I can either shut it off now and walk away, or we can start pulling everybody's part. It's up to you. You decide what you guys want, but I'm done playing games. I'm done asking and I'm done begging.
She's not done begging. She begs and she begs and she begs. Again, she does do the dry begging. She has drag bagged her way all the way from the United States of America to Costa Rica just to get her dentures put in because I won't tell you why she needed them done. If you really want to dig into it, you can find out on your own. But it was 100% her fault that she needed dentures. She got her people to pay for it.
So either everyone will support and a good majority will, or I'm just going to shut it off and walk away. You make your choice. You decide what you want.
She has threatened to walk away more than once. When she threatens to walk away, each time she threatens to walk away, it's the same old song and dance. She guilt trips, she shames, and she tells everybody how worthless they are for not giving her money. Unlike other content creators on TikTok and Twitch and YouTube and Facebook and what have you, she does not have a secondary job. This is her only job. This was her choice.
But I agree with you, Tammy Brown. Everybody needs to do their part. I'm not asking for much. But if it can't be community supported, I'm not begging anymore. Everybody's going to do their part, or I'm just going to shut the fuck off and walk away. So be it. Who doesn't want coffee? So y'all decide. Well, I'm sorry to hear that you're not in a good mood, cool man. Neither the fuck am I.
So, she has had, including this person that she is talking to right now, very belligerently, a number of moderators and viewers alike that have had health problems, dying of cancer, they lost a parent, you name it. They have had disasters in their life, and this one person is going through it. Lexi literally just said, I don't care that you feel bad. I don't care you're having a bad night. Sorry you got lupus. I do believe when we go further in, she literally says, you can do something about that. It's a manageable thing. Not a reason not to give me money is what she's basically saying.
You know, sorry you got a bad diagnosis. It's not my fault, though. You shouldn't take it out on me.
Shouldn't take it out on her. Are you kidding me? You just been told that you have lupus. And then you're being told by the creator that you like to watch that you're not giving money to her is you being selfish and taking it out on her because you had a bad day. You know, like the logic isn't logicking.
I paid for M tablet right now. I just spent $1,000 Girl, why did you spend so much money on getting teeth pulled? You could have gone to Costa Rica for less than that. What the hell, girlfriend?
She likes to flaunt in front of everybody about her trip to Costa Rica. Again, one that she did not pay for. I mean, maybe she paid some money here and there while in Costa Rica, but her trip was paid for. Her teeth were paid for. There's documented proof of this. Some of it was she documented herself. In the US right now, there is turmoil within a political stance. And even as a first world country, the US has its groups of people that are destitute. There are people on the streets. There are people in homeless shelters. There are people that are fortunate enough to be in a home, but they can't afford food if they afford a home, or they can't afford a home if they afford food. There are people in Australia who are on the streets. There are people in Canada who are on the streets. There are people in the UK who are on the streets, all the same thing. And yet she sits there saying, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you go to Costa Rica? Oh, yada, yada, yada. She has no idea how the rest of the world works. She only cares what works for her.
Girl, you could have traveled to Costa Rica for less than that.
Everybody can travel to Costa Rica,
And thank you, Tammy Brown. I'm so sorry you had to spend that much on fucking 3 teeth. Jesus Christ, $1,000 on 3 fucking teeth. My God.
There she is, the Nightbot. That's one of her generated prompts telling everybody to go to Costa Rica. And because they are a sponsor for her, they'll get up to 70%. They'll be able to pay 70% less or whatever. It's disgusting.
I spent to have that my entire mouth extracted. Oh my Lord. Girl. No, I get it, Kuma. I'm sorry that you get a diagnosis of lupus, but here
we go.
It's a terrible thing. Don't get me wrong, but it's workable, it's livable. Now that you know what's going on, now you can get it treated. There is treatment for it. At least you figured out whatever was ailing you, you have figured it out, and I think that's great. As far as figuring it out, I don't think it's great that you get diagnosed with lupus, but it's great that you figured it out nonetheless. Bree says, I seriously debated on going. I don't want to go, but I don't have that extra money to get mine done yet, but I do want to go to Costa Rica. Yeah, but Jesus Christ, Bree, you could have spent less than $1,000 going for vacation. Would have cost you there and back, quick flight, couple of extractions. Christ, girl, you probably would have paid like $600.
$600 is nothing to Lexi because people paid for it for her. If Lexi had to put down $600 USD, it would be the end of the world. She is telling people with no health insurance in America that they can just up and go to Costa Rica and get their work done. It's not logical. It doesn't work for everyone. She is delusional. And again, may I remind you that Twitch is available in many different countries, so some of her viewers might not even be in the US. Some of them might be further away from Costa Rica. Some of them might be even more down and out. It's absolutely atrocious how she treats her people. It's also atrocious how she treats the LGBTQ company? Can't wear a company. Community.
For a night in a hotel, It's going to be a fast turnaround when you do it, though. That's the downside. If you're going to do something like that, obviously you have to work. You got to do your thing, I get it.
She gets it, but she doesn't work. Her work is sitting there on stream, smoking her cigarettes, drinking her coffee, telling people that they are stupid, telling them that they don't know what they're talking about, asking for money, threatening to stop being on. Yeah, Ash Trevino, Amberlynn Reed, all them guys. I don't know. Somehow, I sometimes think that Lexi's worse than them. And then sometimes they eke it out a little bit worse than her. I think they're all in, kind of head to head. They're on even ground with their atrocious, dramatic, dry-begging, idiotic stunts.
It's kind of crazy, It's amazing what they get for a fucking extraction. They must have been a surgical extraction. I can't imagine paying that. Christ, the last extraction I paid out of cash for was like $85. I feel like shit today. They pulled 2 molars and a wisdom tooth. Okay, yeah, the wisdom teeth makes sense. The wisdom tooth makes sense. Not the molars, but the wisdom teeth does. Because typically, your typical extraction for a tooth is usually around $80 to $100. But when you got to do a surgical, that kind of increases your price for your fucking wisdom teeth.
Again, she's talking She did do the research on how much it all costs, but she did that so that way she knew how much to get out of her viewers' pockets. How much she could manipulate out of their pockets to make sure she got the goal that she wanted in order to get her teeth done. Not paying for her teeth herself.
I get that. We got one gonna get hers done too. So I feel you. It's so expensive. Fuck dental care in this country. And you don't have dental insurance through your work, I'm assuming. I was awake, regular dental office, they just numbed me up and that was it. I don't have insurance. Jesus Christ. I don't believe you were awake for a wisdom tooth. Ouch. Girl, even I got put under for a wisdom tooth. I made sure that they put me under when I got my studs done too. Like, I made damn sure that I was under when they did that shit. I wanted no fucking part of that. You know, I didn't want to remember any of it. Now, Gracie girl, she told me that she was awake for, I think she said 7 hours while they fucking drilled in her mouth and drilled her bone and put her implants and all of that shit. Like,
anyway, the rest of this, there's not much more of this clip. It's only a 5-minute and 34-second clip. However, you get the point. This woman is a scammer, a beggar, gives nothing back to society, takes. And she's a privileged white person. It's bad enough when people of the BIPOC come at you from other countries and try to steal from you, but this is a person right in your own backyard who was born with privilege, but is still going to use that privilege to try to steal money from you. Sorry, not steal. Oh, not scam. Oh, convince you, allow you to realize that she is worth your time and your money. So you should give her it. That's all I got to say about that. We can see how she used shame in order to make someone feel ashamed of themselves. She does that with body shaming. You didn't see that. She brings shame into the community, like I said, the LGBT community, the Twitch community, the TikTok community, any content creator out there. She causes other people to feel ashamed of themselves for not giving in to what she is asking for, demands, and thinks that she is entitled to. She threatens in a threatening manner, sometimes banging on the desk, sometimes shouting and yelling and screaming, many times saying she's just gonna up and leave. She threatens her audience. She has threatened to sue people multiple times. The guilt trips also go hand in hand with her threatening, constantly guilt tripping people to make them feel guilty in order that they give her money. Hello and welcome to my little corner of YouTube. I'm sorry for the heated little bit in the front. In fact, the front end of this video was a little bit longer than I normally do. So I'll definitely be doing a part 2 because Johnny won't fit into this whole entire video. I am also known as Birch and I do videos about scammers and scamming. Mostly about romance and celebrity scams, but as you can see, sometimes I throw in other scams in there. I like Lexi Knight. Okay, here we go. Our last video was a very short but sweet Johnny Depp the First, and now we're gonna go into a completely different Johnny Depp, a Johnny Depp teen, as he calls himself. So grab a seat by the fire, sit back, relax as I regale the tale of Johnny Depp teen. When I first ran into this Johnny Depp, he only had 44 friends. He was just starting out. Of course, he needed to let us know, like they all seem to do, that he's in Kentucky and he's got kids, and that he works as an actor. At the time, he had no posts whatsoever available on his page because he had just started out. I can't tell you exactly when he opened up this account simply because he didn't specify when, but when he put down that he works as an actor December 23rd, 2024 until present, my best guess is he would have started this page around about the 22nd, 23rd of December. Now, I did an up-close, I'll do even more up-close. This was his profile picture. It's a really nice J, and it says underneath, Johnny Depp team. I have no idea if it was a team of scammers or not, but he did have this for his profile picture. He starts off, "Hello, pretty, how are you doing today?" "Ah, yes, my face is indeed pretty, thanks for saying so." I said this tongue-in-cheek as my profile picture is not a picture of a person. He didn't pay attention to that and he continued on, "Bless your generosity, my highest gratitude and appreciation for all the love and support you have been showing me and my music. I'm so grateful." Question mark, question mark, question mark. Well, is he grateful or is he not grateful? I don't know. "Where are you from and how is the weather condition over there?" "Good morning to you, young sir," I said. "I trust you slept well. It may surprise you that I never did listen to your music," which I haven't. I've not heard a single bit of Johnny Depp's music. "But you are highly welcome. I am from Queensland, and right now the afternoon is a warm 27 degrees Celsius where I am. It's said that it might go up to even 35 degrees Celsius. Crikey, I'm not ready for that. For any of you Americans out there, 35 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit is approximately 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, off you go then. I see you're busy, hopefully eating breakfast, because it was in the morning in Africa." And of course, not reading anything, he comes back. "Good to meet you. I guess you might have known about me, so no need for introduction," which is code for he had nothing to say. He couldn't think of how to introduce himself. He just expected me, the lazy poop that he is, to figure out everything I needed to know about him. This is actually my first time chatting with someone that I don't know. "I will like to know more about you if you don't mind." "Okay." "Didn't really read anything I said, I see." "No matter, I can still work with this. Right into the checklist. What is the first question on your list?" "Are you a man or a woman?" he asks. "What are you up to at the moment?" he asks. So that's 3 questions off the bat. Am I a man or a woman? I have to say, this is the first time a celebrity actually asked the gender of a fan. I am non-binary, and it actually was the first time I had a Johnny Depp impersonator ask me if I was a man or a woman. But since doing this chat with this scammer, I've had a few others try to find out the gender of my body. "I have been watching YouTube," I told him. "But now you've got my attention, young sir. What is it that you are up to at this moment?" "I'm just relaxing," he says. "Send me a friend request. Did you work today? And whatever you do, if you find yourself talking to a scammer, I highly recommend you do not send them a friend's request. Until you have figured out for sure if they are a real person or not, do not give them a friend's request, because if you friend request one of these people, if I had given him a friend's request, he would have had access to my friends on my list. If I didn't protect that, he would have had access to information about my family. He would have been able to see pictures and posts. They gather a lot of information. So, you are relatively depending on how you play your cards, safe talking to them in Messenger. But if you let them on your Facebook page, you are asking for a world of hurt. Not just for you, but for everybody on your Facebook page. This is partly how they get clients. And anyway, did I work today on a Saturday? No. I don't work on the weekends, thankfully. Why do I need to send a friend's request? We are already talking, are we not? What does just relaxing look like for you? Trying to get some more originality, some verbiage out of this man. Oh, that's great, in response to me not working on the weekends. What type of work do you do? I'm a curator, I told him. Yes, we are already talking, he agreed, but we aren't friends. I don't see why we need to be friends. I keep my list small. It has people I have met in person. Again, I highly recommend. Your Facebook is your Facebook, your TikTok is your TikTok, your Twitch is your Twitch. It's your life. I won't tell you what to do, but I highly recommend that unless you have met them in person or know the person that they have met in person, unless you have some idea, some verification of whom you are talking to, do not add them to your list of friends. It's not necessary. It will only open you up for trouble. Now, there is a little bit more to this scam. I am going to save that in a part 2 because the whole Lexi thing has put us over the 30 minutes. But there'll be a part 2. It'll be very short. And I do hope that you come back and check out and see what happened to Johnny Depp team. Thank you so much for joining me on this little trip down scammy lane. I hope you learned something. I hope I opened your eyes. I hope you stay safe. I also hope that there may have been a few chuckles here or there, although I do admit that it was kind of heavy. That Lexi is a big rage baiter, I'm not going to lie. That's how she gets most of her views. Please stay safe out there. You are safe. In my heart, you are loved, and you are blessed.